Hi everyone, today we're going to go over our cybersecurity policy and an executive summary. So first things first, in order to address and prioritize any compliance gaps, we will use the NIST cybersecurity framework. Although it's just a recommendation, it is the best to protect our organization. The framework has 5 stages that we're going to utilize: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recovery. We're going to ensure to increase our organization's cybersecurity knowledge, address gaps, including utilizing access control and automated tools. We will use vulnerability scanning to test for vulnerabilities and threats. We will develop a process to communicate the potential threats to senior management and employees, and then after any incident, we would use our disaster recovery plan in order to get back to normal business operations. So along with utilizing the NIST framework, we'll also be utilizing the cybersecurity lifecycle. Some of the major aspects that we will utilize with our organization are access control, training, incident response, maintenance, and threats and vulnerabilities. Access control is one of the primary methods we are going to use to protect the overall security of our organization. We'll be utilizing a top-down access to ensure that only those who need access to complete their job duties have access. Training is also an important piece that we will use. We feel here that knowledge is power. Training will not just be a one-time occurrence. Employees with our organization will receive consistent training on new things and refreshers as they come up. Incident response is another important step that we will use to strengthen our organization. It is important that we have a plan instead of reacting in the moment to any threats or vulnerabilities we may have. And our maintenance will include regularly scheduled testing and scanning of our systems and networks to find a breach before it affects our system significantly. So moving into our organization security policy, we're going to incorporate many different key points and security measures. Our primary concerns are always going to be security and data protection for both our customers, our employees, and our business as a whole. Again, we're going to use measures like access control, authentication, and authorization. The 3 main categories of our security policy are going to be our onboarding and offboarding process, our social media policy, and our mobile device policy. Our onboarding policy is going to be focused around training. Once an individual is hired, we'll ensure to provide them their devices that are already pre-set up with admin and security protocols. Each device will also include our security software, including firewall, antivirus, and VPN. For offboarding, we will ensure that we are soft breaking any individual's devices as soon as they state that they are resigning or upon being let go from the company. Our social media policy is strict. We do prohibit the use of social media on company devices. The only social media that may be utilized is for individuals who are required to post for the company itself. No personal social media will be allowed on any device. And lastly, our mobile device policy. We do understand that our employees will consistently have their mobile devices with them. We have created a designated network referred to as the BYOD network that will be used for mobile devices to protect our primary network. We will also have all of the company devices encrypted and not allow mobile devices to be connected to any of the company devices, even for charging purposes. Some more about our security policy is we do have a good amount of employees who work from home. So a lot of our security standards will revolve around this. Again, employees' devices will be set up prior to them receiving it. They will be required to use Ethernet only. Wi-Fi will actually be disabled. We're also going to utilize location monitoring. Upon being hired, each employee will provide their location that they will be working from, which would be approved by our HR department. That will be their one designated location that they are allowed to work from. For our systems and network diagram, I included the diagram here. We have a series of network devices, including our routers, switches, firewalls. Our servers will be utilized for file, email, storage, and web hosting. Our organization is comprised of 5 main departments: our admin team, human resources, IT, customer service, and R&D. These devices will all have access to the internet, but will be utilizing the network through both our outer and internal firewalls. We will be using multiple layers of security to help ensure the overall security of the organization. So on to our business impact and continuity plan. There are below the 6 main areas that we're looking to prevent in the event of an attack. The table that we have here shows the multiple different risks that our company could encounter, and ensuring that they are prioritized by the importance of the largest risk. When we are conducting and reviewing the audits, there are several areas that could be considered high risk to the organization if damaged, and each of our systems will work together in order to properly run the day-to-day operations of our company. When any piece of any of these systems are down, it can hinder multiple different aspects of the business. So our business continuity plan will include risk analysis, management, as well as recovery plans. We want to be prepared for a wide range of vulnerabilities because we feel that it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Our primary objectives with Mommy and Bean Co. is to provide a detailed plan to restore critical operations in the event of business disruption. Our main goal is always the safety of our employees and our customers. However, with the proper plan in place, our goal is to always maintain or return critical business functions as soon as possible. So looking into standards, laws, and regulations, the NIST framework is the set of guidelines or best practices that our organization, as well as many others, use to manage and reduce the chances of cybersecurity risks. The 4 main steps that we are going to follow to fall within these standards and regulations are what the NIST framework has considered like a pass-fail criteria. These 4 categories are identifying relevant controls, translating the controls into system configuration requirements, defining the system test cases, and then determining the pass-fail criteria. Our incident response and incident handling. This is going to comprise of 6 main steps. These steps, as outlined further in our specific incident response and handling plan, are preparation, detection and initial response, containment, eradication and recovery, investigation and analysis, reporting and documentation, and lastly, lessons learned and continuous improvement. We always want to learn from any of the threats that we've encountered previously. Another important piece of our incident handling is our team structure, which will be comprised of our incident response team manager, the incident responders, forensic analysis, IT network admins, communication and PR coordinator, as well as our legal counsel. Our incident response team will provide 7 main points or services in the event of any incident. These include incident detection, incident triage and analysis, incident response coordination, incident containment and remediation, forensic investigation, stakeholder communication, and then again, lessons learned and continuous improvement. These 3 things are some of the infographics that we will be sharing within the organization, along with many others that we have. These are ones that will be shared throughout the multiple different positions within the organization, not just necessarily our tech department. We feel that it's important that even individuals in customer service or human resources also get some really important cyber safety and security tips. Specifically, the first infographic is just really good online security tips that they can use not only for their company devices, but personal devices as well. The OWASP current top 10 would be more for like our tech lines of the company. And then lastly, cyber safety for web applications is also more for the tech line of business. However, we do try to create these infographics so that any of the individuals within the organization can read, understand, and get some sort of knowledge out of them. And lastly, our executive summary. Here at Mommy and Bean Co., our continuity plans and goals are always to ensure that we are protecting our company and employees. Although our business is primarily retail, it is really important to us to have a strong cybersecurity department to protect our overall assets, business, customers, and employees. We understand that regardless of the type of company that we run, there are still constantly threats to any business that runs online, and we would like to be ahead of the curve and have a very strong cybersecurity department. Thank you for listening and have a great night.